Because what I learned is I can't say what I want to say. And people that are in the matrix are going to support what I'm saying. The white man is not going to support me. I'm not going to get the sponsorship that Minister Farrakhan get. I'm not going to get the sponsorship of Dick Gregory or Paul Mooney. People ain't trying to hear what the hell I'm trying to say. So I had to learn how to survive in nature. Because if you want to say what you want to say, you're going to have to be able to feed yourself. Because whoever's feeding you going to have some authority over what it is that you say.
Yeah.
So I had to really cut myself off. Because I can't say that I got to eat at your table, but then I can't address your table. Because I'm eating at the very table that I'm addressing. So I had to cut myself off. And I had to learn how to live in these abandoned buildings. I had to learn how to live what some people consider subpar. You know what I'm saying? But what happened is I developed. And I developed technology. And I developed myself. And now I can look at people to say, you know, 2 to 3 years from now, we'll have solar panels where we won't be running even off generators. We won't even be running off his gas. Right now, we got 2 or 3 generators. But, you know, 4 or 5 years from now, we'll have solar panels where we'll be running off our own power. So there's a path of actually building our own selves and getting up out from under white supremacy. I'm not saying everybody has to do that. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I support what y'all want to do even here. I could say, well, I got mine. I'm good. I ain't got to come down here and deal with this. That's y'all that want to deal with commercial and being in business trip and all that. But no, I support the aspirations of all my people, and I want to use my strengths as strengths for the people. I didn't do this for me. I didn't become conscious for me. I didn't live in those abandoned buildings because of for me. I did that for the revolution and for black power. So, and black supremacy. So now I have time to come down here where I'm not worried about money because I'm growing my own food. You follow? And I don't have one bill. I have all. When you call me, we having some trouble. I'm able to get my ass right on down here. I have no distractions. You know, I don't have to wait in no line. I'm on my way. But I had to cultivate myself to get to that point. And a lot of people attack me for how I had to live to get to that point. But you know how the Vietnamese had to live to get their freedom. You know what I'm saying? I think that we should be proud of those people who could forsake capitalism and materialism for the greater cause, right? Because America, honestly, is not really controlled by the millionaires and the wealthy people. It's controlled by that little man that has more integrity to his job, whether that's a police job or some city job, where he has more integrity to his job than he do money. Because if he didn't, he could be bought. And the entire infrastructure of the society would be pulled apart due to corruption. So it's not our aspiration for money, but it's our loyalty and integrity that we have to a common cause. And I have lived my life according to that, to be that person. Not to make myself as though I'm higher than others. You know, I'm better or I'm more self-righteous, because y'all can see that that's just not the case. But what it has done for me, it has built up the loyalty and integrity, has put me in a position to be a real soldier, to really be on the front line in how that it is needed. And I just ask people to have more respect for your soldiers. My mama and parents, for me to be the one I'm with, they starved for me to be standing here talking to you today. Sometimes we didn't have lights, we didn't have food. They suffered for me to be standing here today. So when we see people suffering for the greater good of the masses of our people, we can't look down on people and say, oh, you suffering, blah, 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 blah. Because some of that is integrity. All of that is not. I used to look at my parents and say, man, why don't y'all get this money? That's why I even sold drugs for a certain period when I got in my teenage years, because I called myself trying to help out my family. Because I'm like, why y'all want to live like this? But it wasn't until I got older. My parents being in the civil rights movement, being with Dr. King, it wasn't until I got older until I saw that they lived the way they did because they had integrity. They weren't just ignorant about real estate. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't just ignorant about finances. They wasn't lazy. They was not drug addicts. They was not alcoholic. They had integrity. What they saying? They homeschooled their own children. We're going to live minimally so that we don't have too many bills and we're not under this white man. You know what I'm saying? They had integrity. So now today when people have integrity, this new conscious economic movement makes integrity poverty. If I don't want to sell out and be all about money, then there's something wrong with me. You follow? I think that if we're going to be about money and resources, we should support those with integrity. Because that's the integrity of having money. Otherwise, where are we going with it? If we're not building resources to support some integral foundation. What are we doing? Okay, I want to wrap this up. Was that it? Did you have something to say before I close?
More so a comment. I did like you mentioning this conscious costume that people wear, you know, because it's translated into how, I guess, white people see the whole conscious movement. But as far as militancy goes, and I someone mentioned this in the discussion on Saturday, but militancy is more than a philosophical viewpoint. It's strategy. It's infrastructure. I don't know, as an individual, you can be militant. We can all be militant as individuals. But when you speak of military, you're talking about an entire system that, you know, is for defense. So, I mean, I don't know what methods you use to go about reaching people. If you are going out into the streets, speaking with these brothers who got the artillery, because, I mean, like he said, it's folks out here, they strapped. Yeah. And like, I'm from the South. I'm from Houston. So it's a different dynamic between the North and the South. I've been to Chicago. And what I would say is, here, like you said, you may not just see the thugs like that. You know what I'm saying? But just because you don't see it, but those will be the ones who get you. You know, so it's like the people are out here, and we just have to create a way, especially in the way of militarizing ourselves, unifying ourselves for the sake of defense, reaching people in a way that is outside of just a philosophy of let's be militant. Because even you gave the examples about the things that are going on in Africa and the Middle East. Well, if you notice, a lot of those people, it's a lot of refugees. There are these coups, these people who rebel, and then there are all the millions of other people who don't rebel who get displaced. Mm-hmm. So in your strategy to militarize, think about that. Think about the people who are not the warriors. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the people who are also going to be affected by, you know, the militancy.
Right. And that's why I said that, and I'm glad you said that. I know that I cannot rage a revolution that people don't want to see happen. That's why I'm coming talking. I got an army with me, trust me, that if we was on some individual shit, we could take over the West End by ourselves. If I could take over,
no, bro.
You underestimate me.
No, I'm telling you, because I done been in this hood a while. I'm telling you.
Underestimate me.
The Black Panthers,
listen,
but you're gonna have to
here's the missing
collaborate
right.
more.
But
so
I don't want to do that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not here to do that.
Here's the thing that we're missing. A lot of these people, because I've been in Atlanta since 2000, a lot of people are quietly, I don't like to use the word conscious, but I will for lack of a better word, they're aware. And they're just waiting for something to be a part of.
Right.
So